In my last video, you saw the first part of the journey getting to Hawaii, and here we are landing, well, that's taking off. Here we are landing in Oahu at the Honolulu airport. Right away, we went to Pearl Harbor, and it was really cool, just a historical thing to show the kids, you know, just teach them what things that have happened, and you can see kind of scale some of the cool like rockets and torpedoes and stuff. And the kids did a little tour on this here ship, boat, whatever you want to call it. Sadly, we didn't have a ton of time at Pearl Harbor because just the time of day we got in, and it was a ridiculously long amount of time to get our car rental, so they were almost closed. We didn't get to do very much there, but it was still really cool to be able to honor those who gave their lives for our freedom. And just that history and coolness for the kids getting to learn. They love learning. So anyway, the beauty of Hawaii. Our vacation rental was about an hour away. We did not want to stay in Honolulu, but just showing you some of the beautiful scenery. I love these tropical, lush, just beautifully green places. And right here, we're driving right along the coast. Like, we're just yards from the ocean. It's pretty cool. So we were on the northeast side of the island, and I'll give you more of a tour later, but this is just a view from the balcony here at our rental. Literally just, I don't know, a couple yards from the ocean. Pretty crazy. And a beautiful sight. The waves crashing all around us really made me sleep well. And anyway, I'll give you a full tour of our rental later, and some unexpected uninvited visitors we had. But that was the first day. We came on Easter Sunday, and then the next day we really got to the fun. Everyone got in the car. Luckily, my brother was driving because I don't feel comfortable driving in places I don't know. I was just for the ride, and luckily he and his wife had been there before, so they knew the good places to go. So we went along the coast a little bit further north, and I think it's called Hanauma Bay. I could be pronouncing that wrong. But that's where the real adventure started there. Which, by the way, totally shameless plug, my craft channel, inspired by this trip in the mountains, I did something there. This was New Zealand. This was a sunburn. This is several months later. Let's see if I wore sunscreen. Find out. So anyway, Hanauma Bay, really gorgeous, beautiful, and all of that there is coral. You can see the waves crashing into the coral, so it's actually really peaceful past the coral on the beach side of things. And lots of strict rules, making sure you're not stepping on the coral, and there's tons of fish. So this was my first time ever snorkeling, and I definitely want to do it again. Certainly was not an expert this time. But anyway, found my brother just chilling, well covered up, I guess, and some bleached coral was really cool, and just a fun close-up shot of sand. I found a child and another child. Oh wait, that's niece and nephew. Just enjoying the beach as kids do, which is funny because at the beginning of the trip they're like, what are we going to do in Hawaii? Just be on the beach the whole time? We're like, yes, child. That is what beaches are about. That is what Hawaii is about. You're going to enjoy it. And they did. Anyway, my first time ever snorkeling. I just was really nervous about making sure I didn't crush any coral and hurt any wildlife, but had some fun. So tried not to get horrible footage. You couldn't really see what was going on my camera, but I just wanted to show you some of the fun little critters I got to see. Pretty little fishies, and there's a lot that I got to see, and especially that my family got to see. I swear, every time we'd go past something, they're like, did you see that? I'm like, no, I didn't see what you're talking about. But I still got some cool footage. Still got to see some cool things. Are those angelfish? I want to call them angelfish, but they're probably not at all. Are angelfish just tiny aquarium fish, maybe? I am not a wildlife expert, but they're pretty. They're cute. And they were plentiful. And this was pretty far out still. It was really easy to get disoriented. At some point, we got further out, and you can kind of just pull yourself along. You're not really even doing much swimming because you're so close to the rocks underneath you. So when you can't see, there was a blue one, a long one, and then I only saw one of these cool little guys. Kind of reminded me of a catfish because of his little feelers. pretty blue one. And another one, another fish. I'm very eloquent in my speech, aren't I? But it was definitely an experience, and I hope to do it again this September for my birthday. I am going to Costa Rica. It'll be my first time there, just like this was my first time in Hawaii, and I plan to snorkel again and get better equipment. I had some problems this time. So, pretty little fishy. We had kind of the cheaper snorkeling material, and that was my downfall. I kept getting salt water in my eyes. I kept having the valve either close up so I couldn't breathe or not close up and water came in. Those were cool. I think, are they anemone? Or, what are the ones that they get and eat? I can't think. Anyway, cool stuff. This is what most of my footage looks like, honestly, is me thrashing around, because you can't see people when you're looking straight down, and then you'll see like flippers in your face. You get disoriented. For me, I panic, and I was surprised by how many fish is in my footage so close to my feet, and I was terrified of like squashing them. But yeah, I will get much nicer equipment next time, and just more practice and hopefully less crowded, but it is well worth the fun. As we were kind of winding up for the day, I decided to go ahead of my family and just walk back up the trail and be a photographer, or at least pretend I am. I mean, honestly, Paradise lends itself to gorgeous pictures, so I appreciated them. It's very postcard picturesque. And interesting fact, apparently Jurassic Park is filmed on Oahu, and when you see the large grass blowing in the wind, you get a little nervous looking for them velociraptors. Anyway, it really was blowing more wildly earlier, and it just made me think of that. Funny story. So, taking those pictures, those selfies, because, you know, when you're in your 30s and you find yourself divorced and, you know, looking again, I did not go with this one because it had sand on my face. Anyway, while I was up at the top of the trail, I heard lifeguards and a bunch of people, and turns out, my niece was pointing out here, a seal decided to come into the bay and just decided to start sunbathing with everyone. So, pretty cool. And after that, honestly, we were pretty wiped out, but ready still for some more adventure, because we had driven a decent amount of time to get up here from our rental. We decided to do one more thing. So after saying goodbye to the beach, we had a little picnic joined by this guy, lots of fun birds there, and tackled this mountain. I don't know what it's called, but if you see just to the left of the center, there's a trail that is using old railroad ties. Here's at the very base of it. Takes a little while to actually get to the base, but my nephew and my brother, and then my niece tackling it with me, we kind of split up. And my niece and I did not get that far up. We got up a decent amount. This is the view from where we were, but of course there's a whole lot left that you can do. You can see up there's still a lot left to do, but I was feeling the sun literally cooking my skin. This is how far up my nephew and brother got. They stayed up much longer. You can see that's pretty darn cool how far they got up. They still didn't go all the way. We were just worn out. Anyway, on the side of the road, there's these cool little trucks, and we decided to get some of the tasty goodness. So we had a guy machete open a coconut. The part that I did not film later, when he was cutting it all the way open for us to get the meat. Yeah, man, he was scaring me because he kind of slipped, and it's amazing he didn't cut himself. And we were just like, as a child, I had a family member cut off a finger, so I don't like blades. Anyway, I was trying to decide, do I like warm coconut juice? And the answer is yes, I kind of do. So, just enjoying some more scenery after a good long stay. And I didn't answer the question, did I wear enough sunscreen? The answer is no. None of us did. We all got burned. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was nothing like New Zealand. I kept lathering up, so... there are just such beautiful trees, not just palm trees, but also others that we kind of talked about, like these ones that get really big at the top. Kind of makes you think of Africa a little bit. Yeah? No? Anyway, some fun treats. We tried span musubi. You get that at the 7-Eleven. And also these chocolate snacks were really tasty. We played a fun card game as we got back to our place and just relaxed. So that's just a couple of days. We've got a few more days, so make sure to watch those videos. And also you can check out my ASMR channel. I've got a video on there, and I took some audio of the beach waves crashing because I know that helped put me to sleep so much. So if you have trouble sleeping and relaxing, maybe go check it out. And thank you so much for joining. We'll see you on the next